Okay, so today I'll be checking out Unturned for the first time ever, and it's not a game I had ever really heard much about. This is the second episode in my Whatever Wednesday series, which first episode was Counter-Strike 2 for whatever reason. It's sort of something I'm doing on a whim where it's like I failed my one day of chess that I normally do it on Wednesday. And so basically that slot is open. So I might use that eventually for a hard mode slot or something else. But I thought, you know what, in the meantime, let's just use it as like another day like my Saturday. The only difference between Wednesday and Saturday is Saturday, I play something I've never played before. That's the condition. Just like something before it's about to go offline, things like that. I actually missed one that I should have done, which was Marvel's The Avengers, which was on my list, but I just forgot about it. And so that got delisted and you can't play it anymore. So that's what Saturday is for, to try to catch up on all these multiplayer games and potentially delisted games. It originally started with Spellbreak, December of last year. I panicked and said, "Oh, I really got to do that." And so this Wednesday slot is much more open ended. I can play stuff I have played before, but I guess for now I'm just taking advantage of the fact that there's so many games I've missed out on that I may as well, try to catch up and try them. So the only thing I know about this game is I saw it on Steam charts a couple times, even the other day, where like there's literally 40K plus people playing it. So I don't know how the fuck it's so insanely popular. Uh, is it like the next Minecraft or the next? And I know it's been out for some time too, the next Roblox or whatever. It just seems insane. And there's only 20 people streaming it, so it's kind of weird that, as popular as it is, not like there's 40K peak. Even just it seems to be the average, like even right now at this random time. And so that's interesting. I've never played it. I don't know much about it. All I knew that I saw some art involving a zombie, so I assume that's what this is. And I assume that I'm never like a stickler for graphics, but I mean, it is what it is. Like sometimes these voxel-based games and things like that can have the most potential in terms of gameplay because like there's no limits on what they can do. So it makes development easier that way. So as long as the mechanics and gameplay are fun, I don't really care. In fact, some of my favorite games of all time take advantage of that very thing. The Binding of Isaac is so deep and so complex, but the graphic style was sort of minimalistic, at least a little bit. It has a good style to it, but that wouldn't have been possible if you tried to do a AAA. I always said that about The Binding of Isaac. A AAA developer could never make that game. Number one, for the reason I just said, but even just beyond that, like the imagination and pushing boundaries and stuff was just so out there that even the subject matter and the gross stuff and whatever, it was just something that you could only get in the form that you got it, which was a Flash game and then obviously an indie game, which he's milked the fuck out of with all the different expansions, but still, he deserves to actually do it. That and then Don't Starve is like a Tim Burton-esque, stylized game. So these are games that I love, among my favorite games of all time, that don't really have the greatest graphics, even being released in the modern era. So I don't really care too much about that. But yeah, that's all I saw was like some sort of image that showed that. So I assume it has to do with zombies, just given the name. That could be our permadeath. If we have to be unturned the whole time. If we turn into a zombie, we just lose and have to delete our account or something. So what else? Yeah, basically that's what the Wednesday format is. I can play stuff I have played before. The first episode for whatever reason was Counter-Strike 2. And I guess I was just stunned at how popular this actually is. One thing that struck me was it has probably the most banal art cover title art that I've ever seen for a game. I'll actually even show it. It literally just says, let me go to like the store page. It literally just says Unturned with like a black or like a blue logo in the back. It's worse than my fucking thumbnails. Look at this shit. Hang on. For a game that literally has 40K plus viewers, they couldn't bother to hire somebody on Fiverr to make like a proper piece of art or thumbnail for them, or they couldn't just fucking screenshot the game and like show a zombie or something. This is really one of the worst, and I'm only being so hard on it because it is so popular. Imagine how much money and whatever they're making from it. Look at that shit. What is that, dude? Literally a one viewer streamer, fucking like me, has better channel art than that. Just try to think about that for a second. Try to appreciate this. This is a multi-million-dollar company, or at least it could be. 523,000, very positive reviews alone, 40K concurrent players, and you get this. Meanwhile, me, I get like 2 concurrent viewers, and you get this, this, this. Sometimes it's just an effort thing. Like, I'm not trying to show off, but this is a moment where I get to, because it's like, look, dude, I'm not making any money from this shit, dude. But yet I still do all this kind of shit just for my own interest, or I always come up with these ideas that I like. That is a shameful moment that you deserve to be clowned for that. I'm not saying it's got to be elaborate art. Even the graphic style in the game is far from elaborate. But what the fuck is that, dude? This is like a Ryan Gosling moment. They got away with it. James Cameron got away with using the Avatar papyrus font for Avatar, and it just drove him fucking crazy. As whatever his character is, maybe a graphics designer himself, or they don't even say what he is in that little SNL short. But it's like, this is what you do, dude. How do they get away with it? And the game's been out for a long time too, so that is, I'm already like shitting on the game, but that's just a minor quibble. Obviously, I'm sure the game itself is good. Play death menu music. Play FPS doesn't matter. Arena timer warning. Show blood splatters. And even this, look at this scuffed game, dude. You can't even see it because the white automatically blocks. Cursor censor text profanity. I guess I should do that. Show inbound text chat. Enable, no, enable. Like, even a game like this has fucking voice chat built in. I hate that that's such a norm. It's one thing if you want to go out of your way to do it. I probably should do that. I don't know what that means. It might just not show your name. You don't even have to worry about that because nobody actually streams it, apparently. And you might say, oh, maybe it was hot back in the day in 2017, 18, or whenever, right? Or if like one big streamer does it, it'll be a big deal. But this game seems to be consistently getting 40 plus K players, which doesn't mean that people have to be streaming it, but you would think that would make it a pretty good category. Random 121 FOV, master volume, voice chat should be already off. Loading screen music, yeah, I can't actually hear anything, so I don't know if it's just bugged out or what's going on. Matchmaking, show all maps. I want to do some sort of permadeath format or hard mode format with it, which people might question sometimes or call it a gimmick, but I would argue it's anything but. That's just like my identity of how I do things anyway. I would do that even off stream, just that's how I enjoy doing stuff. Like, oh, if I lose with this character, I have to move on to the next one or whatever in Smash, in any game, right? It would just be a fun thing to do. And obviously, like, permadeath is always my style, but to even do it with multiplayer games is quite interesting. I wouldn't even say like, oh, I'm the first person to do that. Like, I'm sure people have done similar formats in the past, but just the way that I do it and the way that I commit to it and do it with everything I play, that is a pretty, like, taking ownership of it. It's not just, oh, it's a gimmick that I'm doing. Like, I did it with Overwatch. I did it with Paladins. I do it with everything, at least in this modern era. Obviously, I've done it with a lot of stuff in the past, but I don't know. It's one of those things, like, so many things I've done that are kind of the same sort of things that I see other people. Oh, look at that, dude. The same sort of things that I see other people do or whatever, like, get credit for very banal things that I'm like, that's not even impressive. Why are people so impressed by that or whatever? Why doesn't it have a million views? But it's like you do something like that yourself and you're just kind of like, it's not that big of a deal. I'm just doing it because I enjoy it or whatever. So that's the part that you maybe miss, right? As a small creator or anybody, right? You might do something that's actually very impressive. I knew somebody like that in WoW. They were doing like world 5th raid clears, right? They weren't world first, but they were like top 5, top 10. I'm like, why don't you just stream it while you're doing it? Even if you don't talk on the stream, even if all you're doing is showing, and the guild didn't seem to care, like they wouldn't have minded, or maybe they were even streaming it themselves. So I was like, why not just do it? Or they were playing, League or something, and they're like a high ranked player, not like, best in the world, but they're pretty good. So it's like, why not just stream it? If you're going to be playing League hours along the day, my friend who played Smash, but I guess that was even before streaming was a big thing. But, why not just stream yourself playing League at a high level? Why not just stream yourself playing, doing, WoW raid clears, world 5th, world 10th, whatever? How could it hurt? And then it might turn into something. But it's like you don't think of it as a big deal. Like, you're doing it just for fun because you enjoy it, because you want to do it. But then you think back and say, wow, let's use chess as an analogy. These 2,000 FIDE players are getting like millions of followers, Botez, Anna Kramling, whatever. And it's not even to bash them, but it's like, people are impressed or reward very unimpressive things objectively. So it's possible that some of the stuff I've done in the past, or that, again, people do innocuously off stream, is so impressive, but they just don't think it's impressive. So they don't record it, they don't stream it, so they don't get credit for it. That's what makes it feel kind of shallow, that people reward very much the wrong things. That we could make it so that every character has its own life, but does that mean they have a role and they have like a... I mean, I might just do that anyway. Like, I'll use each skin. So now, how can they do that? That looks so much like Spec Ops that... I mean, I guess it could just be like a category. It makes it seem like these are classes, but it doesn't, skill set, it doesn't tell you what they actually do. So, I mean, for now, I'll be a civilian. Maybe if I die or fail something. Group, I don't want to group. Or wait. Yeah, there is a sense of sadness in that because it's not even like I really care even now, but I think that's a good lesson for people, right? If you're doing something you enjoy, although we are in this cloud chasing era where like everybody would stream all the time anyway, like everybody you think you're XQC or you think you're going to be the next big thing or you're chasing the money once you see how much money people are actually making. But what it really comes down to is I don't know, like if you're passionate about something, you should just make some sort of record of it just because you might look back and regret that. Like, wow, I did that one crazy thing, but now nobody gets to see it. Even you don't get to see it to reflect on it, basically. Configuration doesn't matter. Yeah, let's actually see the tutorial. Or there even is a single player, but I don't see what the point, I guess, is in doing that. I'm sure that's not why people do it. Looking good. This just seems like it'll be very freeform. Like you can just make your own custom maps and challenges and never mind jumping. Sometimes it's best just to run. Here are some I can't entirely read that, but sometimes it's right in the space that my shit cuts it off. It's hard to explain, but I had that happen hilariously in Dead by Daylight. G to do the inventory. We hear something. Why does this seem somehow familiar? I've probably played some other game like this, but I don't think this game in particular. So press 1, just do it. Almost feel like you wouldn't need to do it. Just hop on their head or something. They seem a little bit tankier than I'm giving them credit for, or could just be missing their heads and stuff like that. Now, shooting, view your attachments, T, and select the magazine to remove it. Then craft. Wait, what are you talking about? T. T's not doing anything. View your attachments, T. Oh, you have to have the weapon out. View it. Oh, this is such a cool mechanic. More games should use this. And what it should be is it shouldn't pause the game. So this is how you should have to customize your weapon and stuff in like Far Cry or whatever. Like it's in real time, which I can't tell whether this is or not paused. You can't move, but like you could move around and you could tinker with it and customize and stuff just so you can see it kind of in a hands-on way. That's a very cool mechanic. What are these cameras? Like who is meant to be watching me here? How long does your breath actually last? Or let's actually look. Oh, it is going to be more survival than I thought. I put that in the tag just on a whim. You have health, food, hydration, toxicity level, I guess, radiation. That should actually be at 0. And if it gets to 100, you die. Lightning, I don't know exactly what that means. Maybe energy. Yeah, energy. And then the bubbles, I guess, oxygen. Although the coloration is a little bit... You would think that the water droplet is breath and the other thing could be whatever. I'm not even a cop, so I'll decline from doing that because I'm a mere civilian. I'm not even reading a lot of this shit, but that's how I do tutorials still. Even though I'm doing it for that purpose, I would just, wait. Siphon is teaching kids to do this because it seems like a lot of kids would be playing this game, just whatever from its cutesy art style and whatnot. Mouse 1 to drive the vehicle. Wait. What do you mean? Mouse 1, the fuel into the gas can, then fuel the vehicle. Did I fuel it? Like, how do I know what it's at? Then mouse 1 to drive, or F, using like GTA controls. Hey, how's it going? Oh, he can't hear. If I can crash into the wall, what are you trying to do to me? I guess it wasn't too bad of a punishment for crashing. Face palm, surrender. I guess you won't be able to see yourself what it is. X, now that's kind of a dumb keybind. I guess I could change it. Yeah, it has a certain amount of mechanical complexity. Z to go prone. Okay, that one doesn't feel too unreasonable, actually. But yeah, this is the kind of game that must have a lot of customizable sort of maps and stuff. I imagine that's one of the biggest strengths of it. Building a base is key to your survival. Yeah, this game will be better than Rust and DayZ and all that kind of shit because it can take advantage of stuff without the AAA graphics, so it can be better either mechanically or better depth-wise. Not saying it actually is, but I mean, that can sometimes be the advantage that these sort of games have over it, or it makes it easier for a smaller company, obviously, to do it. Generators can power objects such as anti-zombie. A lot of the stuff I would want to just figure out on my own, though. Maybe I will just play it solo. I'll see what it's like in multiplayer, but you could play this just as like how I'm playing Ark, which is truly an awesome, awesome experience, despite how slow it's been, despite how many times I've died, whatever. Farming, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm really not reading anything. Whatever, like we get the point. Just let me play the game. I'm actually tempted just to play it solo, but no, since there's 44k people on, let's just see, let's just see what would happen. Fishing requires patience. Cast mouse 1 with your reel. Where is even the fishing pole, though? Do I even have it? Oh, you can view in this better mechanics than Destiny, where you can't choose to do that. Fishing rod. How do you actually even equip it, though? Equip, but where does it go? Like, where does it go on here, though? If I want to, like, drag it there. I guess you could probably... No, maybe you have to do it like that, which is kind of clunky. You have to do mouse 1, or I don't know how you switch back to it. H is good here. Unless this game, or he even is young and he hasn't played it. How can it be that popular? Maybe I'm misunderstanding something. Wait, what did I just do? Why am I losing health? Wait, what the fuck is going on? Right, like got injured. Am I gonna die in the tutorial? Do we have some kind of healing capability? Gas can, barricade, spotlight, generator, campfire, planter, med kit. What the fuck is going on? I guess that's what fall damage would do. I have some sort of survival game fetish, actually, that I don't play them very much. Or fuck you. I don't play them very much. I've only played really a few, but somehow I've always really liked them when I do. I can't believe what's happening with this. I don't know if that gives you health or if it just gives you a little bit. But like even what we fish is going to be good. Never seen it. I'm surprised. Yeah, it's not that popular on Twitch, at least at this point. I think I dropped my fishing rod. I don't know how to get it. I don't care. Ironic. You'd have to fish for the fishing pole. Are you serious? I'm doing all kinds of weird interactions that I don't even realize are a thing. Isn't that always the worst? You drop the thing that you're using in the water into the water. Look, dude. Look. I don't know what it's doing with this tutorial. Like, I get it. It's a complicated game. Lost the tutorial. What I've done that in actually a number of games. Like, what was that? What was that one? Like Hunt Showdown. I like blew myself up with a grenade or something. It was just to throw it out a window, and I was still within range of it, I guess. It's not like I hit the wall and killed me, but just something about the presentation could be a little better considering the immense popularity of the game. I kind of hold it to that a little bit. Like, how has Among Us improved since it exploded because of streamers? Not even on its own merits or whatever, because I don't know if I want to do multiplayer or not. I'll do like some kind of single player permadeath with it, actually. Is this Roblox? Yeah, it is similar. Or at least the visuals of it seem to be. What exactly is the point of this? Like, what would you be doing? Large survival, so you would just play the game and just do whatever you want. Like, found and comparing 0 ideal servers. Best match unknown. We should make it hard. Like, maybe I get 1 life on each of these. What would it be if I go there? It feels like a shame to do it this way because you can play offline. So, because we could do that anytime, right? So I could come back and make a series out of it, whatever. That would last literally months to get to fucking even like level 7 on the Engram row or however you would say it, like to make any moderate amount of progress. But no, we may as well do it here. I don't know what that means. Like, how can there be 0 servers if there's 44,000 people playing the game? 5 ideal servers, or maybe nobody's actually playing on hard. How can that be? Everybody's a casual little baby, probably literally too. I'm not even seeing it as an insult. 0. Easy is stupid. Normal seems to have a bit of a following. If you found the servers, then what am I supposed to do? How do I join them? Best match unknown. Okay, there's only 4, which makes no sense. Or maybe the servers are just that big. I don't know what's going on. Lobby. Members invite a friend. Servers. You'd have to join it maybe here. What is happening? Just like any random normal thing. They're all gonna be weird. Or like, let's go for the one with the least players or the most. Won't be able to hear for a while. Let's see. That'd be interesting if he's modded and ortho. No, I won't have time. I barely have time to even do this. In fact, given my like, how do you know what the base game is like? I guess this is the base game, which nobody actually plays. 278 ideal servers. So what do I do about them? Am I just that dumb? Like, okay, search them. You found them. Then you just sit here and wait. Like, what do you mean? I'm clicking on this, clicking on this, clicking on this. 4 ideal servers, 278. I don't care. I'll just go here. You know what these games always fail to do? I said that in like Daisy and Rust and stuff. I think too. They fail to show you like you're playing the game for the first time. I want to play the most basic, normal version of the game. It doesn't indicate to you in any way. Like maybe the server itself will be called that, like vanilla experience or something. But it just makes it like, oh yeah, just jump into whatever, which is cool that you have so many options. But there should be some sense of like a dedicated multiplayer server that's just like, oh, this is the base game. This is the way the game is meant to be played. It's weird that these games never do that, even those ones that are obviously higher budget or whatever. Enhanced vanilla servers. Yeah, see something like that. But I don't even want it enhanced or how many people are in there. It's 2 out of 64. I mean, let's play it in such a way that we'll go where the people are. But how does this number equate to 44,000 is my big question. Right? Is this everybody in the world or this is like, I don't know, World War III, more like what we're baiting with the whole Ukraine situation, one way or the other. A lot of people feel that way. Panda Hut. Let's just see what these are. Like, I don't know what's going on. It'll be Permadeath servers and it'll be like Permadeath roles too. And so I'll just try a whole bunch of these and then customize the names used in streamer mode. I don't really care about all that. Yeah, see, they're even talking about streaming stuff. It must have been big at some point, but I don't think I ever remember seeing it, or rather, that would be deliberate because I would avoid watching anything that I haven't played, which is really hard to do. But like with Ark, people were actually shocked. Like, how could you? This game has been out for 8 years. How could you possibly not know anything about it, or be as dumb as you are and struggle to do the most basic things? But it's not that I wouldn't have been able, wouldn't have had interest in watching that. Even my friend loves the game so much that, he always was very respectful not to spoil stuff about it to me. But basically, I had never seen like even a video, a clip, anything on it. Or maybe I did and I just didn't realize what it was visually. But for the most part, I didn't know anything about it. Maybe I didn't even know what it looked like. Whenever I thought of it, I would just think of dinosaurs, period. Not like what they look like in the game. I've probably seen the cover art and stuff. Panda Hut. You can customize names using streamer mode. Okay, saying the same thing. Now, am I choosing one of these or am I just waiting? My mouse is moving, but very slowly. So we'll just kind of wander around. Maybe end up spoiling some of the mechanics. I don't know exactly what all this is. Point for door. What is all this? Send your something back to PC Mario Kart using a type. Oh, is that actually what the game is saying, or is that somebody typing that out? Okay, let's look at the inventory, learn the base mechanics. That is equipped. Let's just put it on. I don't know how or where the enemies come. Frequently asked questions. Some scopes cannot be used with scope quality off. There's scopes. Okay, whatever. Where are the enemies? Just follow what these people are doing. I don't know if there's friendly fire or not. Yeah, we'll play each of these till I die or until I get bored of it, but then we can still continue it. Like, I don't know how it works in terms of yeah, this is a kid's game, by the way. Like, this is what I would never, I don't know. I'm not saying it's bad, but I guess I've never felt that way myself personally. Like, I understand that, just basic psychology. kids are very suggestible to a lot of things, and they often imitate things they see and things like that. That is a fair thing to say, at least very young ones. But I've never felt like that myself. I just kind of do whatever, and even when I was young, I don't feel like I would have been, or like I'm very desensitized. But in that sense, it's a good thing, right? You can see as much crazy shit as you want, but it's not going to affect you because you know it's not real or whatever. You can separate the two. But it is an interesting commentary that so many games are like, even Fortnite. Oh, Fortnite's a violent game for kids to be playing, even though it presents it in a way that's a little more whatever cutesy and the art style doesn't feel violent. That is still ultimately the point of it. So let's see what we got. Like, I don't know where we're trying to go, what we're trying to do, but probably would be more enjoyable to just play it solo, but that's just how I always am. I just don't think it would be right to do it here because I want to see what is the hype about. What are these people doing? All 44,000 of them. We might be on like some separate NA type of server, the East, whatever. There'll be all sorts of different ones. But there's no way that, like, obviously I'm dumb for thinking that, oh yeah, all 44K people will be on this one server that we're playing on. But they should have the budget for that at this point. I hate such big companies are lazy about stuff like that, and people will defend it like, "Oh, Blizzard can't afford to keep up the private servers." I mean the vanilla servers, but obviously, no shit, they can. They're just too lazy to do it, or you think you do, but you don't, and they try to talk around it and play mental gymnastics. Like, how hard is it to keep up one server of any MMO or any online game, meaning like every expansion? Keep one playable server up for all time. It's not hard at all. Like, fans can do it. Fans have done it better. Like, what do you mean they can't afford it, or there's no excuse for that? Like, it's so easy to do. So there should always be a Mr. Pandaria server, just one. And you can say, oh, it's dead, but that's the whole point. If the server's dead, then they don't have to worry about it because how much space would they really need on it? So it could get overloaded at some point and then people would complain. But for the most part, it would just be like clowns like me playing it solo, reading all the quest text and the story and playing like a single player game or whatever. I love the way it shows you like that. Or no, that wasn't even what I was doing. It just did it automatically. Or no, F seems to do something, but I don't know what it actually is. What is happening? Like, it's funny how few games actually use reloading as a proper mechanic. Like, Cry of Fear is one of the only games I think of where if you reload with half a clip left, that the rest of it goes away, right? You're just wasting it. You're not putting it back in some imaginary stash where that ammo is still there. So if I shoot like 10 shots or whatever, I shoot 10 bullets, then I reload with 20 still in the clip, then those 20 are wasted, right? Whatever I would have already had. I don't know what the hell I'm even supposed to do. The most popular server, apparently only 60 people playing on it though. Ultimate Supreme Your Apartment. Select the level A, B, C, D. This is an interesting way to do it, at least. Just the fact that you could put so much content in here on each floor and just keep cycling through. But it seems like there's basically nobody here, so I don't know what the point of this is, or maybe we'll get jump scared by something. I always do this for like I try to give these things a chance. Whatever, some sort of random server, but then it ends up being a waste of time. Like, nothing's going to happen. Nobody's here. Nobody's going to kill me. It's just pointless. Or even if I see somebody, I won't know whether there's meant to be an ally or not now. No combat yet, but I've already died to the fucking tutorial. Hot, so, like, I don't know where you're supposed to go, and I'm too lazy to read all that shit, too. I guess you just have to go to probably one of the bottom ones. So we're a little bit dehydrated. It's weird that you would even have to do that on a map like this. Maybe you just have to do it by drinking their blood. That's the only kind of hydration a true warrior ever needs. I'm crazy. But it's locked. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? Wait, just go down to the bottom. Or isn't that what I just did? Ultimate Supreme with cheese. Everybody's favorite Hamumu game. If you know, you know. Beta. More like Destiny when he's in the presence of a true alpha. Jesse Lee Peterson. Apply cosmetics, take clothes. What is happening? I'm sure it was just something up at the top that you could just like what is the point of these hallways? There's never anything in them. You just go up and nothing happens. Whatever, we can find maybe a different one, but at least I didn't die or fail or... let me go back to maybe the first thing. Rifle to the right leg in the city. Meet me at scrap. There must be some way out of this place. I don't know what the point of this is. You're just going to your other people's apartments or something. It's all just the same shit. My apartment. Not here, so I don't know what happened. Okay, let's try a different one. I don't know what this is. There does seem to be some action going on. Or let's go back up to the first floor and then just try to figure out maybe one of those things will actually tell me. Shooting range. Oh, yeah, here we go. Arena. So if we die once, it should be over. But I don't know if these are enemies or what. How do I know? Somebody will just randomly shoot you in the back. This could be good for like trouble in terrorist town type shit too. Anybody I see, I should just kill. But I mean, there is such immense potential to this type of game, so I can certainly understand. Or I even feel that way about like Guncraft was such a cool game in an era like that. That was in like 2013, and it was a game that like you could build, and I don't know what game at that point had done it, but that game wasn't even that popular, but yet it was so cool because you could like build stuff freely, and it was like a shooter with all these other mechanics built in. You had a hook shot, you could call in a helicopter. It was like combining a lot of different genres, like COD plus crafting plus building plus free, interactable stuff. Like you could say, oh, it would have ripped off one of these modern games, but those games didn't exist then. So I don't know if that game deserves like a special place in history that like, wow, it was way ahead of the curve. I remember hearing about Ace of Spades, so maybe that did something similar. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Why do I keep getting pushed back? At least I'm not dying, but there's nothing happening. This is the arena, so what else could there be? Why does he keep putting me back at the beginning of the thing? Just to make it fair to everybody else, I guess, because I would just be too big of a threat. The glass is indestructible. What do we got? What is happening? What are these people even doing? And why do I keep getting warped around? Or they're like, everybody's a role, so they're trying to do certain things. This guy's a chef. Is he actually a player RPing? Chef Leonard, hello. I'd like to make a trade. Where do you get your supplies? Some comes from farming and the locations we've cleared. Others are rations or what our scavengers recover. And occasionally a visitor trades with me. You seem nice. Let me know if you like to trade supplies. What was that one game I played very briefly as part of the Xbox Game Pass Gauntlet? Oh, it was the 7 Days to Die. That seemed kind of cool, but I obviously more like 1 Day to Die, lol, because it was permadeath first playthrough, and obviously I only got one life. I'm kind of cheating in a way with Ark, but I guess I was sort of upfront about it. Or I really wasn't, though. I thought it would be over after one death, and that'd be fair, but it just feels like a game that it's still permadeath. Like I have to restart every time I die. You can't respawn. But it feels justified because somehow, it's a game that just deserves... I don't get what's happening. You were shot in the head by Nelson Al police officer. I don't know if that means AI. So, okay, we're done on that server. This is how it should be because we'll get plenty of chances. It's not like we'll run out of servers to do. It's like I kind of get it, but I also don't entirely get it because it's just 62 wiped Oct 1, unturned Mexico, arid Miami. Like I'm supposed to just know what that means. But yeah, that one didn't even seem to involve zombies. We were just kind of killing each other, or we didn't really do anything at all. So this whole role system is interesting, but we haven't seen that really be relevant to anything. Yeah, not that I've done that much yet. Or yeah, it'll be like that one of those kind of games, like Gary's Mod or something. Like you have to download each server or something. Yeah, is this Rec Room? These are all fair analogies. Rec Room, Roblox, Minecraft, whatever. Fortnite, any game that you involves building. Although Fortnite didn't even originally have that, and then they added it later. Welcome to it. I never really played that much. I never really play multiplayer games much, period, or I guess except for card games. Or like even if I did, it wouldn't be like such an insane amount. Or again, I would do like some sort of permadeath gauntlet format with it. Or I almost need a day for that sort of thing. Ask you to open this in Steam Overlay. No. I don't know what this is, what we're trying to do. Let's just kind of walk around. Do we have a gun? We don't. We're naked. Yeah, at least we start from the bottom. Don't give me too much free shit. Let me just look around and find something. Switch server messages. Got vehicle tampered by the feds and died. Vehicle, what? They put like a bomb in his car, dude? That would be kind of a fun mechanic. But yeah, GTA Online, I barely played. Like, I'll always play them, but then I'll just do it briefly. And like, I don't know how people play the same thing over and over. But then again, I do that with card games, or even like with some of my main series, I end up doing it like, you know, they just go on forever. PvZ has gone on for a year. I guess it wouldn't be fair to say Xbox Game Pass Gauntlets has gone on for a year because it almost sounds like something sponsored, like that I would do that. But no, I'm just doing it as a general format. I would do that on PSN, PS Plus, whatever Gauntlet, like all the free games I have. Basically, you just pick a set of games. I did it with my Steam library before, like Steam Gauntlet, where you go through an entire library of games and just go through each one and do some sort of format with it. So like each one is just a permadeath run. So I go through every single game in Xbox Game Pass Gauntlet from A to Z, right, one by one, and I play them each until I die, and then it's over. Well, that's how I would play a game, you know, pretty much normally anyway, first playthrough permadeath. But it creates like such a sense of, you have so, like, I'm still on the letter A after a year. So think about how long that would go on for. And it creates a sense of dynamic randomness. Like, I don't know what's going to be on there. It keeps changing. Some things get added, some things get removed. So it's a very fun idea, just to, you know, give you such a host of games to play. A lot of stuff I haven't played before. It gives me a first opportunity to do that. I guess the downside is I'm doing it on console, but the idea there is just, how about you give me a gun? Or I guess I'm just exploring what's even out here. This would be fun if there were players all around and, you know, just combat happening sort of dynamically, organically. But it seems like everybody would just kind of dick around the same place. As much as I complain about multiplayer games, so many things are free that you just get to soak in because of it, because everybody else can be a cash cow and a whale for your benefit, and you just sit back and enjoy it and never have to, you know, you benefit from what is free because they're paying for it, but you don't have to pay for it yourself. And I'm not the type who really cares about, you know, whatever, trying to shortcut ahead. I enjoy the grind, as you can see in a lot of the card games I play, where like the only money I've spent in Hearthstone is mostly just cosmetics. I actually had a pretty unblemished record for years of playing games that were microtransaction based, but never buying a single one. NBA 2K, I was a pretty big fan of. I would play it a reasonable amount, and I never bought a microtransaction for it. Hearthstone 2, I guess I almost felt bad for Hearthstone, or I felt like it was going to die out. So I will single-handedly keep it alive by simply, you know, if even me is buying a fucking $25 Cthulhu skin, then you know, a hero skin for apparently druids, then you know the game will never die, because even I'm, you know, going out of my way. But yeah, ordinarily I would never do that. Almost gives me a bad name. That is one of my absolutist philosophies and tendencies, but I haven't done that with anything else though, have I? Yeah, that might be the only game actually ever I could say that with. What other game have I ever bought a microtransaction in? Oh, I bought one in Overwatch 2 for the fucking Life Weaver, just because I did so bad in that gauntlet that I felt like, oh, we get one more life and all. That's actually kind of cheating though, because yeah, that is legitimately cheating. I was just so pissed about it, like, because you're supposed to earn them. So if no, but you know what, it's not, because if there was some way to buy with in-game currency, then I would say you have to save up enough to do it. But I don't think it even had that option. You had to pay money for it, unlike the reward track. So if you have to pay money and you have no other choice to do it, then it's fair, I guess. But then again, if there were a lot of heroes like that, it would feel kind of like you're cheating. See what a wanderer I am? There's 60 people, but I'm not... Like, look how big this map is, though. This is awesome. You could do so many things with it. But no, what I was saying is, on one hand, a lot of these games exist and are free and great. because other people pay basically for you if you're like me and you never do that. Or on the other hand, because there's so many games like this, so like you would have to commit to one. Who's gonna buy Robux when you could buy currency in this game, or you could buy it in Fortnite V-Bucks, or you could buy it in, like how many of these things are there? So that's why I'm like, and I'm an explorer of the further regions of microtransactions, exploiter to some, honorable to others, where I get to, just laugh at other people for being clowns, but yet still be happy and grateful for them to fund these games. Like Hearthstone's one of my favorite games ever, but I didn't pay any money to make it that way. So if everybody was like me, it wouldn't have existed, or it would have had a different business model or whatever. Because you might think, oh, I wouldn't have minded paying $60 up front for it, but that wouldn't have been nearly as much as they've made from all these whales and clowns and just whatever. That's the best way to make a whale in a game, is just to, oh, you need to buy, like if you're a streamer or whatever, competitive player, you have to spend lots of money on packs as soon as an expansion comes out. Otherwise, you won't be able to make the videos and content you want to do. You don't have time to farm it out like a free-to-play player, even as much as you play. You want to focus on doing the ladder and things like that, so you're almost forced to do it. If you want to be competitive, you don't have time to dick around. And he's going to kill me with his helicopter there. And this will be how our story ends, or maybe I'm too unnoticeable. Simulation of a 2003 event. Can I maybe... I just want to find a gun and maybe dick around with some people, but this area seems so big unless it kind of loops. Yeah, also sometimes people are... this is pretty epic, actually. Sometimes people are in a situation where you sort of make the fun and the content out of the players, which on one hand is exploitative by the developer. Like, oh, the game might not be that good, or it's repetitive, you're playing the same maps over and over. You could never get away with that in a single player game. But the art of war, if you can see them, they can see you. Except he probably can't, actually. This would be epic if I turn this around and actually kill him. He'll lose sight of me and forget about me. My point was, before I was so rudely interrupted, that the content comes from the players, whether it be through mods, they make their own maps, the developers work for them, the developer exploits them to make like a repetitive, let's say, map-based system. You're playing the same maps over and over, doing the same thing over and over, like in COD or something, but because you're playing against players, that makes it somehow fun or manageable, whereas otherwise it wouldn't be acceptable like in a single-player context. The point is you're sort of exploiting and relying on the player base, but the upside of that is there's such an infinite potential and amazing amount of stuff that players can do, right, with a game like this. So there'll be plenty of good mods and things like that. Is he actually waiting for me, or did he just fall asleep? I mean, I wasn't even doing anything, minding my own business, but I do escape with my life. But now it sort of discourages the style of play, I guess, because you'll end up dying just to the simple fact of the desert itself. He made it quite a long distance, though. Got a little trusty backpack. The game is very quiet and seems to have basically no music at all. And I'll even check this in the middle of a situation where this guy could be trying to kill me. Or maybe I could raise the music, whereas a loading screen music, voice chat, master volume. Yeah, what is with that? There's just nothing. I can't hear anything. I guess obviously the footsteps. Very immersive. Yeah, I'd love to play this as a single player experience, but I don't know what exactly you'd be doing. I guess they have some of those base maps, like just try to survive and learn the base mechanics, and if you die, it's over, which it might be anyway. I don't know. No, it lets you respawn, though. I think it even asked me to do that, at least in the tutorial. That's why I died on purpose, just to see whether respawning would be a thing or not. This is like a quarantined area. Oh, shit, that looks like a mine or something. This is like a quarantined area where the zombies are put in. This is like what I call the Walking Dead strat. Just put a fence that's barely taller than they are, and they'll never be able to figure it out. Just like that stupid fence outside Clementine's house was enough to stop them. I assume these are mines, but they're not very responsive, at least, if they are. Nobody would have the balls to go into a place like this. I'd like to get a weapon, or I'd like to get some healing stuff or something. Wandering out in the desert was not the best idea, I guess. Oh, shit. Now, look how we're going to clutch this and actually stay alive, despite everything else that we've been through. How do you do this? De-equip. Oh, wait. But how do you equip it in a more convenient sense? Like, do you really have to go here every time and hit that? Equip. The problem is we're at 2% health. Why shouldn't this give us something? What the fuck? So what, water doesn't give you health back? The way that food, oh wow. You know, that counts. This is one of the things about the whole format that I like, is the sense that of any sort of, first playthrough permadeath that I always do with everything, is that, like with Danganronpa is a good example, like a story game. I lost in Danganronpa to the first case, right at the end. You solve the case, then you have to do like a little DDR mini game where you have to shoot the whatever. It's stupid, but the point is I died there, and then that's it. And I haven't played since, and I might not play it again or whatever. I'd have to at least restart. So that's like an in lore, in universe. That's actually the ending to the game I got. So I'm creating my own story endings. The ending is Makoto loses to that guy. What's his name? Larry Butts guy, and dies. And that's actually the real story ending. And so anybody watching that or looking at that would be like, yeah, that's actually true. And for me, it is true. That's as far as I got. I don't know what happens after that. And so it's hard to explain, but it's like that was the ending I got. I got the Leon Kuwata clown DDR ending in Danganronpa. And so if it was like Heavy Rain or one of these games that has multiple endings, it would be like, oh yeah, do you get the ending where Scott Shelby wins, or do you get the ending where Ethan kills himself or whatever? But here it's like I got the ending where I lose to a clown in the first case, and because that's how it ends, I haven't played it again. There's no more video on it. If I posted that, people were like, wow, that's actually the end of the series. That's actually the end of the story. So it makes it feel almost canon, right? That's my real experience. You can make any ending to a game, right? And it's not like I'm doing it on purpose, but whatever dynamically happens, that's the whole point. It's like that would be the authentic ending that you would actually get. And so it feels real, and then especially if you don't come back to it, or it has to be for a super long time so it still feels meaningful, that's actually like a real story ending. Because really, what's the difference, right? If you stop playing the game, that is the ending for you. You die, and then, you just can't come back. Welcome to Washington. Find your way to Washington. This is what Washington looks like. This ain't Seattle, dude. Summer of love. This is the autonomous zone. Holy shit. My friend lives in Seattle, and she was fucking... Oh my god, she was losing her mind over it. Just how dumb people can be. Pick up... So now there are people here, I think. What would we hope to find in here, dude? We pick up the clothes that are freshly laundered. Beat you with a fucking shirt. Might actually work if we just stay out of range. Made work of awful using something. I couldn't even read it. Doesn't seem like it'd be that hard to run away, but then again, you are going to run out of energy. You just got to get like over a fence or some higher elevation. They won't be able to climb. They won't be able to jump. Won't be able to do anything. Yeah, I miss out on all these things because either I don't play stuff enough, even though, I stream 7 days a week. So you would think, oh, wow, that's so much time. But either I keep doing the same things over and over, or I sort of, even though I just said I'm not the type to do that, but whatever, like I have particular fixed days for series and stuff. But either it's that, or I just avoid certain kind of games historically. I tend to... It's both a good thing and a bad thing, right? Like, oh, it's just that multiplayer game that, like, there's so many of those, so how could you ever play them all? And it gets repetitive, and how could you play the same one over and over? Or that's what it almost feels like you have to do, or that's... it just gets repetitive and boring after a while. Meanwhile, I played chess for 2 years straight, like pretty much a couple times a week at least. For a while there, pretty much every day at the beginning, or whatever, at the beginning of 2022. But the point is that the downside to it is that basically we're not really seeing like much combat. I'm just kind of wandering around, dicking around, but we go until I die, so it's okay. Still makes it exciting. Cheat death is a power only I achieve in certain runs. Okay. They don't feel very threatening. Certainly it's no 7 days to die where I don't even know how I died so easily in that. It was very quick. Yeah, the downside with multiplayer games is that, well, it's a plus and a minus. You could play them forever and it's like endless replayability and people still enjoy them. They don't get bored of them. But on the flip side, it's like how could you ever play them enough, or you'll never have enough to play all of them? Like, people will play GTA Online, let's say, and they'll play it thousands of hours, and that's all they'll do. Or like me, okay, I played Hearthstone so much. So think about all the other games I'm missing out on, and imagine if you did that all together. Oh yeah, play NBA 2K 10 hours every day, or play Hearthstone 10 hours every day, play WoW 10 hours every day. Like, how could you possibly fit all that in? So you know that innately you're going to miss out on a lot of stuff just because there's too many of them out there, which is a good problem to have. And the flip side of that is why people like these classic servers and things like that so much. Because it's like, oh, well, if you like classic, whatever, WoW or something, EverQuest, why not just play it when it actually was current? But maybe you were too young. Maybe you didn't get the chance. You weren't born yet. Or maybe you didn't have time. Or maybe you didn't do enough if you did have time. So there's so many good reasons to have those opportunities. So it's basically like, it's a situation where that's the reason why people don't play, because like, how could you play every MMO adequately? Like, nobody in the world has ever done that. Like, you're playing WoW Classic, and you're playing EverQuest, and you're playing RuneScape, and you're playing Dungeons and Dragons Online, like all at the same time, all enough to do max level rating. Like, it's just impossible. That's part of the reason, I guess, why you could say that people like try to speed run through it, because they feel so overwhelmed. So it's kind of ironic. The most fuck you, dude. The most complicated games are the ones that people get cynical and jaded about and act like, oh, they're solved, or you know, they're actually admitting the opposite, right? It doesn't mean that a game's not complicated because you know what'll happen is the number of players will change, so then I'll end up playing on the same. No, but I kind of know what it is. This was like Arid Mexico. This was Seattle. All it takes to end the autonomous zone was one killing, so I guess that was the one actual recolorized version, live footage of what happened there. Basically, like I always say that people, speed run stuff. What it means is that they're looking up advice, and they have all these guides and wikis, and they're willing to look at them. They're reading them. They have mods. They have all these tooltips, UIs, help. So they're so eagerly and sort of taking for granted that everything is looking up stuff and advice and borrowed knowledge. So because they're doing that, they're actually admitting, wow, this game would be way too complicated to figure out on my own, the same way that you would try to do with single player games, which even now they've become so big and so complex that people don't do that either. But at least historically, you go back like, okay, Ocarina of Time, you would at least have the sense that most people would try to play the game and try to figure out stuff for themselves. And if they couldn't, it feels like a demerit. So it's like a badge of honor. I want to play this game blind, and whatever happens, happens. But with the advent of MMOs and multiplayer games and all this kind of shit, it feels so overwhelming that people don't want to do that, but then they'll somehow hold it against the game, where it's like, oh, this game is old news, or it's too simple, or we've seen all there is to see, or we know everything. But again, imagine doing that with single player games or anything, or it just doesn't mean anything because it's not your knowledge. You wouldn't have come up with that yourself. None of that would have mattered. It would have just been, what is that saying? Steam overlay or stream overlay? Like, it wants me to advertise for their Discord. I never use Discord. I don't see the point of it. Or I should do it for my debate formats and shit like that. I'll become Destiny 2.0 for real. There's so many good memories that I have, but it feels kind of sad. I don't know. Everything just feels so, I guess that happens over time. Not even like rose-colored glasses, but everything feels like everybody's so aware of the result, right? Like, everyone does it now with something in mind. There was a time where it felt like people were just doing it to do it, right? Like, when Destiny was doing that, was he doing it to make money, to make a living? We're talking about like really early Destiny, 2013. I don't know if he even knew he was going to make money or where it was going to go, right? He was just doing it because he's passionate, and then it ended up getting somewhere. But I'm just kind of wandering around the maps. Whatever happens, happens. But I guess, again, this is a game that I'm looking at on Steam charts as one of the most played games. And so I'm just wondering what the situation is. Like, why aren't there more players? How could there be 44,000 people based on the servers that we're seeing? There must be something that I'm missing, or the other menu must be bugged out. Or I guess basically, it's just a case where every time we are seeing them, we're just dying immediately. But that's the downside of some of these maps being so big. That's true even in DayZ and Rust and stuff. It's like, there'll be people, but it's so big that it'll take you forever to do anything with them. Or I guess what you're really trying to do is you're trying to just like build a base, survive, farm, do all the kind of base mechanics, and then occasionally you'll come upon somebody. That's the whole appeal of it. They'll either fuck you over after all your hard work, or you can fuck them over, or you can work together, or whatever. It'll just feel very dynamic, like a real world environment. You just happen to stumble upon people who just happen to be there. They're not there to because of you or to whatever to oppose you. They just happen to be trying to survive too in the same world on the same map. So that's the appeal of all these games, obviously. Yeah, my first experience with Rust and DayZ were both bad because like all you did, okay, you go on a server and it's like you either can't find people or it's just very, I don't know. You ask and you receive. Everybody just shoots on sight. But how did they know that I wouldn't do the same to them? I guess so. It's every man for themselves. I don't know where that was coming from though. The zombies do look kind of comically basic. I guess what I have trouble doing in most of these things is I don't really find a weapon very easily, or I don't find anything. Like I died because I died because I was losing health, but I don't know what I was losing health to. I guess you just start to lose it generally over time, or maybe I keep draining my stamina. You would think your health shouldn't go down. All these other things could go down, or maybe something else ran out and that caused me to start to die. Like if your hunger reaches zero, you'll lose health, or if your whatever your hydration does. So your radiation shouldn't change and your health shouldn't change. Or if your stamina runs out, you'll be draining your health, I guess, could be a thing. What's going to be interesting this year, I just thought of it, is I have like 2 yearly traditions that I do. One of them is I don't do anything on Halloween, but it was very fortuitous last year. Speaking of the Game Pass Gauntlet, it just happened to be I was at the letter A and I happened to get to Amnesia right when it was Halloween. Of course, there's like 3 or 4 Amnesias, but it was even the first one. I'm doing a first playthrough of Amnesia, not because I chose that for Halloween on Halloween, but it's because I chose. I just happened to die in all the other games, and I was in the letter A still, and I happened to run into it. So that was one of the coolest fortuitous moments ever. I just failed like AI Somnium files or something like that. Clearly, I threw on purpose just to get to that in time for Halloween, but I didn't do it for that reason. But no, at Thanksgiving, I always do my Red Dead Bounty Hunter series, but since now I sort of have a fixed schedule, it's going to be like where I'd have to fit in my other series too, which I guess that's Thursday, so it would be Destiny, and then Monday is going to be Christmas. I always do my that would be Magic. I always do my Skyrim Christmas special. So I only play those games once a year. Or I guess Red Dead I could make a series out of, and that I did play more than once, but I always do the Bounty Hunter series on Thanksgiving, Red Dead 1, and then I always do Skyrim Christmas. And so that's the only time I play Skyrim in the whole year, and I even have that art. Right, where is that? It's the one with the dragon. Maybe I don't even have it on here. It always shows up when I end the stream. Yeah, I probably don't even have it here because I never use it because there's nothing to use it for. That's weird, actually. Basically, it's the guy shushing like Alduin looking dragon who's shushing and saying you can only play this game once a year. Like he's showing you the number one. So it's part of my whole motif joke. Like he's not shushing me. He's not telling me I have one life because it's permadeath. He's actually saying that you can only play the game once a year. So it's such an addictive game that, I could always make a mini series out of it or do something. But for the last 3 years, 2021, I didn't play it a single day. And then I played on Christmas for the special. Then 2022, same thing. I didn't play it a single day all year, Skyrim. And then I only play on Christmas. Then this year, I'll do the same thing. I haven't played it once. Maybe before Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, I can do a little mini series with it. It's not because I don't like the game, you see. It's because I like it so much. Opposite interpretation, where it's so addictive and so time consuming and just insane that you almost have to stop yourself. That was true with WoW too. I quit like right around Cataclysm, right before Cataclysm. Not because I wasn't enjoying the game, but whatever. You kill the Lich King and then you're happy with it. Even, whatever, normal difficulty. I'm not saying I did heroic and stuff, but I always found that so insulting. Like, how can 10 fucking random adventurers kill the Lich King? Like, how is it that easy? That's fucking trash, right? Just lore-wise. It should at least be 25. It should at least be 40. You obviously have your little lore character with you. That always makes you feel like you're a part of the lore, like where, it's like a Warcraft 3. I always make that analogy. It's like a Warcraft 3 map where you control, you're controlling Grommash and a bunch of orcs. So you have a couple grunts with you, and Grommash is the leader. And so in the context of a raid boss, it's like, wow, Tyrion Fordring is the leader, like that you would be controlling as the main hero unit. And there's these random grunts, like for that I was just saying, that's you. You're that random grunt if you're a warrior, or you're that random priest if you're you're a healer. So you're those random units from Warcraft 3. I always like that analogy, but I feel like nobody ever thinks about it like that. You have like all these 20 different random units, and it's like, how could these random people be part of this major boss fight where you're killing a major lore character like Illidan, or I guess you didn't even kill him, but Illidan or Arthas or the Lich King. But that's actually how it did happen in Warcraft 3, right? There was always a group of random units with you, just this nameless grunt, this nameless bowman, this nameless priest, whatever, right? So that does make it feel actually pretty interesting if you think about it like that. I'm sure even Blizzard probably didn't think about it exactly like that, but they're just trying to make a game, with rating like other games had, copying EverQuest, whatever. But still, it's an interesting sort of in-character RP way to think about it. I'm just a random grunt unit, a random peon unit, whatever, from Warcraft 3, and I happen to be helping Tyrion take down the Lich King, or I happen to be doing whatever. Like, it at least makes sense whenever there's an encounter like that that has a character with you, which a lot of them don't actually. Like Cthulhu didn't. So it's like the hero, either the heroes of the world had nothing to do with that in lore, or they had everything to do with it, and they're solely responsible for killing Cthulhu, even in a weakened state or whatever. So the zombies don't really feel that threatening. I guess what you should do here is just try to find a gun, though. I haven't really done much, but I guess I'm not trying to avoid it. I just can't do anything because they just walk right through you. Looks like maybe that's a faster one, or I don't know what's happening. The fence is their ultimate weakness, as usual. It doesn't seem like there's much destructible environment in this game, or maybe I'm just missing it. That could be sort of a missed opportunity where you're basically trying to, you should be able to break through those fences, break through some of these walls. Yeah, it seems like a good game. I don't know what some of this player interaction comes down to, or you have to play it for such a super long time, and then occasionally you come upon somebody, or you have to go to kind of the hot spots on the map that I'm sure everybody just stays on most of the time. It's kind of a good problem to have, but some of these maps are so big, where this almost makes it seem like a PUBG type of map. Just, what the fuck? I lost to map. This is how I lost to reading quest text in Lord of the Rings. Dumb ways to die, 1,000 ways to die. I could make a compilation of that with all these permadeath runs. What is one of the dumbest things I've died to? Like Somnium, where I don't read or I forget how one of the mechanics works, like to slow down time or reset time. So I die in a way that was so easily preventable, and I'm just doing the mechanic the wrong way because I forgot how it worked, which, to be fair, it was like a month away, or whatever, like several episodes away that I did that, since I had last done Insomnium, like where you go in their dreams and stuff. And so I'd completely forgotten how it works. I should have read through it again. As thorough as I am and as much flavor text as I read, somehow I didn't recap on that one. Or Alice, I died to a teapot, but at least that you could barely see. That's the thing. Like, you got to display your failures as much as you display your successes, so you can show what it took to get you there. So all of those I would gladly show. I don't think I posted that one, though, the Alice. Did I? Lost to a teapot. Hey, kid, how's it going? This is such a weird way of doing it, too, where I'm just kind of wandering around out in the wild, but I guess I keep dying to my hunger or something. It's just weird how, like, you either have to seek out player interaction or you just don't get it in these games, no matter how populated they are. Like, even DayZ and Rust had super high populations, whatever, on the Steam charts when I go to look at it. But then it turns out that, when I was running around those maps, even on the highest populated servers, there really wasn't anybody there. So they're either all congregating, doing the same thing, or these maps are just so big that it makes it feel kind of more dynamic that way, which that's arguably not even the whole point of the game. It's just you know, just only to interact with players, but it's more like you're trying to whatever, build your base and do your thing. But I could do that anytime, or I could do that in single player. You might be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah, I guess so. But just I've been on a couple of these servers, and just like by wandering around like this, you don't really see that many people. I'm sure it's just a case of everybody staying exactly where they are and just killing each other over and over. This isn't an open world map. It'll just turn into a death match. Or what I should try to do is actually find some supplies to survive, because I've rarely done that so far. I like how he made that account to watch Counter-Strike, and it has counter even in the name. Welcome back. Still can't hear. Black shirt, don't really care. I need some food and water and stuff. I don't know why I keep losing so much health. I don't think anybody's really attacked me this time. Pick up filter. I mean, I'm sure there's all kind of crafting and shit I'm not doing, but that could come with time. Potato. Fuck. That's gonna save my life right there. Yeah, I didn't know it would even have such an emphasis on the survival mechanics. But I'm sure a lot of people don't even play like in that sense, or that didn't heal me at all. Oh yeah, we could play chess even in this game. You should be able to interact with it. That's what this game should be all about, is all the mini games that you could fit into it. But oh fuck, I wanted to see who was winning that position. That we did that yesterday in Tabletop Simulator, where we just flipped the fucking board. This is the wrong game for that. I think white was probably winning, or it was too early in the game to figure out. Analyzing famous chess games from fictional. Oh shit, we actually got a weapon. Fictional weapons from or whatever, chess games from famous scenes in movies and stuff. The game called Unturned. I mean, you can see it in the category. If there's a filter in some fire stations, should there be gas masks too? Oh yeah, that actually makes sense. I guess I haven't really encountered gas yet. Or like, can you actually break open boxes and see what's in there? I guess not. Speaking of Unturned, I'm gonna go farm up an RP server for a pub. I guess that's how people play these things too, is they sort of, oh, you can actually, you know, like dual wield them or something. They would kind of commit to a server and just play it over and over, which I'm not even opposed to doing, but I guess I would do it in a permanent context, just like, you know, if I die, I'm done with the server, which is a cool way to do it, because you're not really going to run out of them either. Let's say you try to kill one, although his movement does scare me a bit. Backpedal your way to success. Never does me wrong. So he can reach further than an axe can go. Okay, I just kind of did that almost on purpose, it felt like. Just because I wanted a combat encounter. That guy was just way too fast. We haven't seen too many vehicles either, actually. Let's see, let me try one more. 63 out of 200, 52, Russia. Is that what that even was? I forget. Silverport Reborn, kits, keep inventory, PvP semi-RP. I almost want to see one that's just like full-on PvP, which you would think is how... yeah, I died. Okay, last one, and then I'll maybe start like a single-player playthrough, where it could be permadeath in a loose sense, like where you have to restart the game every time, and you can't save your progress, but you could, you know, just try to play it blind and figure everything out crafting-wise. It is good, though. Like, there's clearly a lot of good things going for it. It's just kind of weird. I don't know. It feels like there should be so many games like this, but they're all just better graphics and stuff. But okay, they all say that. Offense, fully learn your offense skill tree. What do you mean? Or no, it just auto gave that to you, I guess. But yeah, see here it already starts in combat mode. This is almost like a horror map. You really be that scared if you're in a plane, though? Speaking of not having enough vehicles, although to be fair, I don't know actually how fucking stupid. I don't know how it actually works. That almost shouldn't count, but it does. Okay, fine. We could do one more and then do it. When you don't know how it works, you should probably stop moving. or stop doing it. Okay, players again. I'll have to remember which ones I played on too. I don't know what this is, so maybe I'll skip it just in case it's something maybe adult, mature. Give me some actual combat, dude. You got to go to one that's just like an arena. Customize names used in streamer mode. Anytime a game has that, you know it's a big deal at some point. Or it could just be the way to try to ingratiate people to start doing it. But it kind of doesn't match. The fact that there's like 44K people playing, supposedly, and, only like 20 people streaming or watching. And yeah, even I'm like 10% of that alone, I guess. This part can be a little bit annoying having to download a map every time, or it could end up taking way too much space. With a game like this, it probably wouldn't, but I remember that with Gary's mod, I had like 100 gigabytes worth of shit back in a time where, and I would just keep getting more and more and more because I would keep playing on other servers. But basically, what do you call it? It's a case where you would, every time you go on a server, you would have to download something, and those are obviously a lot bigger. The assets here aren't that, high resolution that would be necessary. You know what I almost want to try? You go in Gary's mod, and there's like some cinema mode, right? So if I was reacting to content, like I'm going to do a react stream, and I'll react in the game. So I go in the cinema and I watch some videos, and whatever videos they might be, like something that is relevant or allowable or whatever. I'd have to decide what. Okay, dude, just why do you have to play this shit, dude? Please open Steam profile. What do you mean? What's happening? I don't care. Okay, I'll skip it. I just want to do one more that feels like semi RP. Okay, fine. Maybe I'll skip ahead and do one that's like just PvP based. Map. I almost want to do that now since we're in such a freeform mood. Let's start it. Okay, let's do a PvP. Find a hard PvP one. The ultimate modded PvP experience. There you go. We'll do this one, and then we'll do a single player thing, and then I'll do Gary's mod if I can download it quick enough. And I just want to show off that cinema mode. Like, what could we react to? The point is to show it in such a way that's mocking React streamers. Like, go into Gary's mod, pretend like you're playing a game, and then the game allows you to watch a video on YouTube in the game, and then you react to the video as you're sitting in the cinema. It's like a very good immersive thing. So I'll react to some of my own videos and just like, I don't know. I'm always paranoid like what you're allowed to do, and I obviously hate doing that generally, but like if I watch somebody's reaction to a movie, it shouldn't be, well, obviously not on Twitch even, but it shouldn't be copyright because they were allowed to watch it and post it, right? So even if I mute them or I copy them, I'll show the exact scenes that they do for exactly the length that they do. So then I'm allowed to do it because they just did it, right? There's all these big channels that are like reacting to movies just because I have such a pedigree and history with movies, and I'm like, you know, a previous movie critic and all these kind of things. It almost feels like the sort of thing I should do, but I don't want to do it in that kind of clownish way where you're just basically reacting for the sake of reacting. That's what this day could turn into, is just random shit. But the point is, that's the only way I would do react content. I'm still playing a game. I'm still doing it within the game. I guess that could get dangerous too, though, because somebody else could. You'd have to make it private. Like somebody else will play or make it so that only you can determine what's being played on there. I don't know why I find stuff like that so cool. All it is you're just like watching YouTube in it, but it somehow feels very immersive within that context. Like I could just watch my own videos. There's no reason why that would ever be an issue because, you know, not even to self promote my own content, but I don't know. I could rehash some of my old debates, or what would be something I would want to react to besides like movies or movie scenes or something. Uh, Good way to sort of show it, like you're giving a demonstration to people, or you're, do like your college lecture there or something. You're just showing some, watch some Noam Chomsky. Like, there's so many mechanics that we haven't even seen or been able to appreciate here. Of course, some of these maps are maybe contrived and tuned in such a way that they're able to minimize that simply because you're able to, like, whatever, they have their own custom criteria of what they're trying to do. I wonder how much space is actually taken up in doing this. Again, if the graphics were a little better and if it was something like Gary's mod, it would be a lot more, but it could already be a lot. Like, or you know what other game was like that is Ace Attorney Online. You would have to download all these 10 gigabyte things of assets, but I guess it was more like a one-time thing. So certain sprites wouldn't work and different character models and whatnot. That's a game that would never really got its due, and I don't know how. I do remember actually streaming it. I just don't know whether it would be allowed now because it's like a fan-made Ace Attorney game, but it's basically, you get to role play as the characters. You can do all the sprites, you can type in. It's just so much fit for purpose that, again, it's one of those things that feels like a private server for an MMO. Like, yes, they shouldn't exist, and yes, you're not supposed to do it. But what you're supposed to do is, how do you even close this out? I guess you just can't. Okay, cool. Like, what the fuck? Um, you're doing, like, you shouldn't have a private server for anything like that, but the company should arguably do it themselves. So that's why people get pissed. So it's the same thing with that, where you would say, why should I have to? I actually forgot what I was even saying. Why should I have to do it in such a way that, whatever, like, why should fans even have, yeah, Ace Attorney Online, why should fans have to have that? All it is a simulator that has the same animations and sprites from the Ace Attorney games where you can role play it. So, like, it's so much fun. You could have debates in there. I actually did that a lot. Like, one person's on the defense bench, one person's on the prosecution bench. You can be Edgeworth and you can do all this cocky animations, and you can be Phoenix and you're objecting and you're doing it in a proper format. So that's perfect for a debate category because it just makes it more interesting. There's more flavor to it. You know, in today's era, you would do it more so by voice chat, but you could still, yeah, I guess it wouldn't have as much value now, but it just felt so cool. Like you're having an actual real, like, trial-esque experience, and it feels so immersive. And you just get to, I'm just not really seeing, like, any players ever. That's the thing. Kind of weird, actually. Okay, the way these guys move is kind of freaky. Battle Royale starting in 70 seconds. So let's say you try that. Clearly, I won't die. But if I die in this one, then I'll move on. I actually want to check that out now that I just thought of it. I'll just react to one of my own videos to test it. I'll do it like stream of consciousness style, like where you're able to, glitch bases are not allowed, do not build them. How about you make it so that you can't build them if it's a glitch? Just fix the glitch. Like, whatever topic is brought up, I could just turn it into a whole debate or conversation about that, even irrespective of what specifically is being said about it in that context. 28 seconds. Yeah, this is a good way to do it. At least force yourself to teleport to a location, which I assume is what it's going to do, to fight everybody, because otherwise it's impossible to find them. Like, how the fuck do you do that? It, like, just by playing it, would you think I chose the most populated servers, everything like that? I must be missing something. Or no, I have to do, wait, how do you even do it? Event cannot start due to lack of registered players. Okay, I'm done. I'm not saying the game is bad, but would you assume that there were 44,000 people playing the game based on what you saw here? And I would say absolutely fucking not. So is that like a bug that number is so high, or what's the deal with it? Because it seems so weird. It didn't feel like that at all. I'll even show it. Look. It is not even in the top 10 though. Peak players, hours played, 620. Wait, shouldn't it be on here then? No, it's number 10 is Naraka Blade Point, Unturned. I'm so confused. 53,000 people. That's insane. Like, what mode? Whatever. We could try the single player another time. But basically, I wanted to see like what was the base mode. That's what I don't get. Matchmaking with who in what capacity? 63 players out of 200. Best match. I'm feeling lucky. Like what? That menu wasn't working at all before, or I already did that one. Yeah, see here, look at this. Unturned, again, that banal, shitty blue background art was just written in a very basic text, like very horrible. One of the worst arts I've ever seen for a game that literally has 50K plus players. That's pretty shameful. But the point is that that is insane. And again, it's maintaining that. It's maintaining 54,000 people. Like, how is that possible, dude? I'm not saying it's bad, but that's insane. June 2014 had 20, then it jumped up to 30,000 by July in 1 month, and then it maintains that a little bit. It fell off, and some big streamer must have streamed it, and then no, but it's been popular the whole time. Like I can't even question it. It's just people love it. Wow. Okay, so this is my first time actually playing Gary's mod, or probably maybe one of my only times streaming it. But my first time playing it in a super long time, and I'm doing it just to test this actual idea that I just came up with. Like, suppose you were React Andy and you wanted to react to some videos on YouTube or something, or I'll probably just do my own just to test it, whatever. I want to see how it would work if we use like the cinema. How would I do that exactly? That must still be there. Cinema 0 players on 6 servers. I would have to hope that install game mode, which I assume you have to do. It's just so cool to do it in this context. Like, I still find a way to make it gameplay centric. So now it doesn't matter which one, right? Like, or what was the one that I used before? I can't remember. Cinema construct, cinema construct. I don't know what these are. Like, I assume that could be one. Just like you could go get popcorn and stuff too. You go in there and then you can just watch anything on YouTube, except obviously I'll be respectful not to watch something that's not mine, or have to find some way to you can do it like quote unquote with their permission, but it's so vague. Like, how are you supposed to know? I don't know. Like, what is something I would react to? The only thing I'm thinking of is like movie stuff, just because, which is, you shouldn't really do that, but just because of how much I like that. You won't be back by 1 year. I should be back earlier than that. This is such an awesome thing. This is what Wednesday should be about. I just on a whim, I'm like, I feel like playing Unturned. I'm not deciding them till like the last second. Like last week, Counter-Strike 2. I go on Steam charts like, what's the game I should play? And it's literally Wednesday night, and I'm about to start the stream, and I don't know what I'm going to do. And it's like, oh, Counter-Strike 2 just came out. Let's just try it. And now here we're segueing into a second category. I guess it's the first time we're doing this on the format, which we've only done it twice so far, but now we're doing it just to see how this would work as a format, which I kind of like the idea already. Just I have to figure out what high level stuff we're going to be talking about. I'll just like dissect something in great detail, which again, I don't know exactly what I would even want to do, or I could let people recommend stuff to react to, but then who knows if it's going to be allowable or whatever. There's like some sort of tag they could put on YouTube, like react approved, like to like just whatever streamer mode that you would see. This video can be reacted to on Twitch or live or in your own video or something, or the person who put the video is okay with you doing that sort of thing. So this actually takes a while, but it's a one-time thing. And this gives me time to do my overlong intros. But yeah, this is an amazing, obviously, achievement. Trouble in Terrorist Town. So many good game modes here. It's just, yeah, who needs Among Us when you have Trouble in Terrorist Town and you have Town of Salem? Town of Salem is one of my favorite games. But yeah, I like how it doesn't have the mundanity of like, nobody wants to blow the leaves or shoot the asteroids or do all these mundane tasks. They're not mechanically that fun or complex. It just kind of gives you busy work to do. In Town of Salem, you're just kind of standing in the same spot and just doing what you have to do. Something's creating script errors. Check the problems menu for details. Like, why should it be a problem? Dude, I just downloaded it clean, fresh. No rules. Let me just see what it looks like, or it's bugging out. Or there is actually somebody here. How do you, okay, this definitely wasn't the one I used before. I don't know if you have to turn off, like, the voice or something. Of course, the E interact button, classic Valve stuff. Backrooms Creator 3. Why is it so fucking laggy, dude? No video playing. Oh, this is not really what I was looking for, but it's just too kind of lame. So how do you even do this? You've been given 50 points for playing on the server. Yeah, how do you even use the thing? How do you even see settings or do anything? I completely forget how this works. Cinema Fixed Edition. Trouble in Terrace Town. Why is it saying it there, though? I go until my socks pop off. I thought there was supposed to be nobody here, though. Wait, how do you even do this? I thought you were supposed to be able to go in there and put your own thing on there. You would think I should be able to do any of them now, though, because it even says 0 out of 64, so I have no idea what's going on with this. Cinema Swamp. Like, how do you just put something on there? Or no, it's gonna... Okay. That's locked. Fumo Cinema Wardrobe New Map. Okay. You should be able to go in your own theater and just kind of dick around with it and do whatever you want. Oh, great. We have to download another multi-gigs. Yeah, this is sort of showing the example. That's what reminded me of Gary's mod. I have to download every map in Unturned the same way, but of course they're much smaller size. So I'd say, wow, imagine if this was Gary's mod. It would really fuck us up in terms of space. What a weird and random thing to do. But actually, this is perfect for what I'm doing here. Maybe I will turn it into like a little mini series. One Quiet Gamer reacts. I'm even trying to think off the top of my head. This shows you how much I'm not a react-minded person. What would you even react to? Like, what do people react to? Funny videos or, you know, TikToks or, I don't know, just random stuff. Scary videos. The only kind of stuff like that I've watched is, again, people just reacting to movies just because I'm so fascinated by how that's a legitimate form of content. You're not trying to be insightful. You're not giving like meaningful commentary, although sometimes you might be. But it's not like you're giving a review. You're not Roger Ebert. You're like just literally sitting there saying, oh, wow, what a crazy thing that just happened. That thing just happened. Like whatever, just base reaction to what's happening. Why do we have to be in all these clunky, weird locations? Like, where's just the base thing? I don't know why it won't let me. Unsupported by the cinema game mode. F1 to open the official map on the Steam Workshop. Cinema Theatron. Item requires all the other items to function. Okay. How? At least we know that that's the base one then. So we can leave. Which one is Theatron? Like that. Taco Land Gmod server. I like how these are still there too. Like why wouldn't, like, who actually uses this shit first of all as I'm doing it? But like, I like how it's still there after all these years. Nothing's upended it. Imagine if Gary's mod was to go offline. That would be such a sad day. Which shows you how revolutionary obviously Valve's engines and sort of whatever mechanics are, because they make way for all these kind of things as well. Like their physics system was so good in Half-Life 2, obviously. Yeah, this is the one. You go, you get a little popcorn. It's your first date, and you take your date to an adult film because you're Travis Bickle, and it's a self-awareness fallacy. The idea that you would basically be, you know, it's not that whether you should feel bad about it or moralize, like, oh, you shouldn't be watching those in the first place, or it's not something you would normally do, but it's the way that you would feel like, okay, you feel like kind of, where is my family? If Harrison Ford is asking, The Dark Knight, wait, you can't put a real, what do you mean? The Dark Knight Rises, but that's actually it. There's supposed to be parodies and stuff. So how do you actually put stuff on the screen? I totally forget. Adobe Flash Player not detected. Some videos may not load. Press F2 for installation instructions. To request a video, open the queue by holding down Q and request video button. Request what video? YouTube. Update your browser. Oh shit, is this gonna be... Just let me try it, man. Maybe it really doesn't work anymore, as much as I'm saying how happy I am for it to still be up. I'm supposed to update the browser within the fucking thing. I'll update all server bug fix them. Like, where am I downloading it to, though, dude? Oh, come on, don't do it like this. Isn't supported anymore. Updated to get the best features. What if I actually had to do this? Like, what's happening right now? How the fuck? Yeah, download Chrome, but to where? But to where, dude? What's happening? How would you download it within the browser itself? If it didn't download it manually, where is it going? Obviously, there's nowhere. That mean it's not going to work? But then why were there people even on the other server? F2, it just crashed. Okay, let me try once again with the Theatron thing. Come on, we have been looking forward to this, apparently, for some reason. Or, let's see, cinema. Other. Why does it only show 6 and then it fucks up? Fixed edition, which would mean that it should probably work with that. You have to hit Q to put something in there. Look at the lengths I go to. Like, all you're doing is something you could do anyway. Just display capture. Okay, go through here. Those posters, I guess, will just never change. Going through there. I guess this isn't even as big and grand as I thought. There was one that you could actually sit down and it was like rows and rows of red seats and like a proper thing. Press video. Like, please just let me do it. Maybe you just have to get the URL, period. How are you supposed to bypass this? Or it even said, oh, it's fake. It's, you know, it's fixed. It should work. The browser is no longer supported. So how are you supposed to do it then? Why do these servers still exist if they don't work? Gary's mod cinema doesn't work. Cinema not working anymore. The add-on is bugged. Now it's going to take a while for the guy to come back because he's not been active for a while. Media player won't work. Says browser update. Won't load any video. I was trying to do the funny by putting a video where brain is supposed to be. Chromium branch. Open your Steam library, properties, betas, Chromium. Oh my god. Betas tab. And select the Chromium version. Both are the same right now. What the hell is a beta? Let's actually figure this out because I have nothing else to do anyway, although I didn't want it to take this long. Legacy browser. Oh yeah, that's what I'm used to saying. Back to main menu. So what is a beta? Demos. Subscribed. Where would I find that? Add-ons, dupes, saves, demos. Close this shit. Gary's mod betas. How do you do this? Chromium beta thing. Or do you have to do it in the... I don't know how you actually choose these. Like in the Steam thing itself? If I click on Gary's mod in Steam, go to properties, beta, select dev, development patch. Okay, let's close out. This is just great, isn't it? Peak fun experience. But once you do it one time, I guess it'll be fine. Here, and it might be totally different now because it's been so long, but Betas. Enter beta code access. Chromium, where's the Chromium? There we go. 86, 64. Pretty good. Beta participation. Update. Oh my god, dude. Why does it take so long? Go like that. Go like this. Didn't really matter how you launch it. 50, 64, 32, whatever. This is fine. Or will the display capture thing still work? Or now it's something totally different? Start game. Please just let me do one fucking video. I just wanted to test it. Like, what are you doing to me? This is madness. Okay, I'll remove it, redo it. Maybe now the display capture won't work, or game capture, but it doesn't matter because I could just display capture it, I guess. Barry's mod 64, or I guess it's a different one, maybe. Are we getting music and stuff now? We even have a gun and stuff too. This is like somebody just trying to troll in a movie theater, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna point the laser pointer at the screen because I'm funny, ha ha ha, look at me. Or like people who are talking. Yeah, I watched Megan in like those are the two last movies I've seen in the theater. I saw Megan in January, I think, and I saw Avatar: Way of Water last year in December. And during Megan, you had these two people in the back sitting and just talking the whole fucking time. Like, just so casually with no regard for anybody else. Why can't I go in there? What? You can rotate objects, you can freeze objects. Are you kidding me, dude? Is this just not gonna happen? I don't know what that even was. You can't do anything there. Can we go to the other side? Is this just determined not to work, man? What the fuck? I come back after years just to try this. So I could try it now. This is so dumb, man. Such a simple thing. Okay. Start new game. Why do I have to do it from here though? Ridiculous. Or like there's so many more than that, but it doesn't show them ever. Where is the Theatron one? Is this not the same one that I'm just on, or what was I even on? Because it was just like the same. Whatever. This should work, even fixed, but I guess you had to fix it from outside of it. So that thing was in beta like 4 years ago, when people were saying that, like on Reddit and stuff. How do we get this to work? And it's still in beta all these years later. Let me guess, it still won't work. Like, just forget about it. There must be some other game where you can do the same sort of thing. Request a video, queue, request a video. Like, just let me fucking do it, dude. Think about all the possibilities, all the React Andy type of shit you could do. Please, please. I just want to show it as a potential format that would be possible. I'm not even really doing it, dude. Yeah, like, what do I do? Or, you know what we could do? Let's look at my friend's channel, which he certainly wouldn't mind me doing. Or wait. Or yeah, like, I don't know. I'm not actually gonna watch this, or how would I would just find his channel through it, right? Like, look at this video. They got 658,000 views. That's like such a clown. Does it even show this? It does. Such a clown show. It's like he looks like he's constipated or something, carried by a constipated dealer. So let me look at some of these. Like, my friend is too lazy to make his own content anymore, so he always leeches off mine. So let's look at some of my stuff that's in here. Or like, yeah, let me go through and see which ones actually have to do with me. Like, could I react to that? Asmongold talks Skyrim for like 30 seconds. Basically, I'll just paraphrase what he says. He's like saying, I got bored of Skyrim by the time I was on the wagon to get my head cut off. And like, it's, again, he's a smart guy. I like him, but that's such a stupid take, because it's like, that's literally the fucking intro of the game. That'd be like quitting WoW during the opening cutscene where the guy's narrating. You know, at least that you can skip, but some of his titles are hilarious. He certainly has a knack for thumbnails and stuff. Now, this I can show because this is my video. I literally paid for this shit. Okay, watch.
Here with an update on election integrity from Uganda. Bobby Wine actually won the election, and it was stolen from him in the most disgraceful fashion. Luckily, we are currently in the United States of America, where we can discuss these matters freely and without fear of persecution or censorship. I have a news report coming in from Kampala. What's that? Action is coming? No. I didn't hear you. Viv on Zulu? The stock market is down? I don't understand any of this.
There was that awkward smile at the end where he's like, his delivery was a little bit off from what I imagined at the beginning, but yeah, damn right, it goes to me. I don't know why I felt like doing that, or this was like right after Trump had, whatever. Or no, wait, what was it?
Here with an update on election integrity from Uganda.
Yeah, this is like right when the election happened. It was sort of making fun when he says like,
the most disgraceful fashion. Luckily, we are currently in the United States of America, where we can discuss these matters freely and without fear of persecution or censorship.
So the point that you're making fun of isn't even the fact that, you know, oh, it's like, you know, whatever, just the fact that, oh, it's stolen or this or that. It was the fact that anybody who would even talk about that was like, oh, blackballed, blacklisted. You know, you should be able to talk about, oh, you think this was stolen or this was fraud. Right? The conversation isn't the issue. It's just, you should be able to at least talk about it. What other ones here have to do with me, I guess? So I made that one even, but I don't like to post stuff like that to my channel, so I let him have it and only got 99 views. But that's always something legitimate and unique that I could react to because it's my video, right? I have full rights to it, everything. See how respectful I am? I wouldn't react to any of this because it's not mine, but nobody fucking in the universe follows that. This is kind of a cool one. He put the Eyes Wide Shut music over the, over like different parts of it, and it fits so well. That's a really good video, actually. It's hard to explain, but like, XUC is going through like a creepy part of a roleplay day, like he's driving at night, and there's these people wearing masks and stuff. So it somehow just occurred to him to put that music there, and it's really cool. This is just garbage, garbage, garbage. McConnell, who I always make fun of and clown. Top tier RP sequence. I've seen most of these, I think. Which is obviously to imply it's an exception. That's just him reacting to videos on his, on like his phone in the game. Which I don't know if he was actually trying to do an Asmongold impression, but at least that's what my friend treated it as. This is like some profane thing that they're drawing, or that she was told to draw. So she doesn't even start to draw it. This is like a small streamer. You know, she looks at the prompt, draw this, and then she makes like this crazy face, and somebody guesses what it is just based on her reaction. She doesn't even draw anything yet. These are pretty badass clips. This is like my kind of hard mode style stuff. A lot of Shadow of Mordor thing. You are AFK. You will no longer receive points. I don't care about points, dude. Some sports related stuff. These actually have a lot of views. These get more views than some of my videos. It's just, look at who this guy is. Like the kind of shit he does. Joe Biden's weird infatuation with kitchen tables. He must mention it, I guess, in multiple, I don't know what some of these are. Holy shit. This is the Luigi's Mansion hard mode. That's actually compliments of me, obviously, because I was the first person ever to beat it in the world, I guess, and really take ownership of that whole situation. A lot of XTC related stuff. How many attempts did Second Room take? Totally wasn't video from my playthrough, wink wink, even though there was no commentary over it because my audio was fucked up at that point anyway. That's like when I literally first came back. That was like maybe my first stream back. in October 2021. And once again, yeah, why is Halloween always fortuitous? I don't always do formats for Halloween the way I do for Thanksgiving and Christmas, like Red Dead and Skyrim. But when I do, it's when I do, it's always so fitting. I happen to come back to streaming in October 2021, and I happen to be doing Luigi's Mansion Super Hard Mode there, but it wasn't because it was Halloween or October. I just wanted to do it, and I just happened to come back. And then same thing with Amnesia last year. I happened to be doing the Xbox Game Pass Gauntlet. I happened to be at the letter A, and I happened to do that. Amaranth. What else? Yeah, this one is pretty infamous, I guess. We've talked about it a number of times, how stupid it is. Day 9 and Blood and Bacon. Look at how many views this has. Like, 15K views. Like, I don't know what it is. How does he do it? Like, it's just random shit. What was the other high-viewed one? It's like I look at it in a mockery sense. Like, somebody's just trying to make fun of how dumb people are, and they're right, and people acknowledge that they're dumb by doing it. One shy of 1,000 for that dude. A 200 rated Mr. Beast. His titles are always iconic, like that. Look at this. Shirtless talking carp goes Omega Soy mode while coaching somebody else. Because obviously Simply is a really good speedrunner. He's also a really good chess player, but that's our Simply here. One of my viewers. This is like the first clip maybe he did of me. So I guess I could react to that. React to my own clips on my friend's channel for some reason. I make like a little pun about Watt's time to shine. This is where it all began. I wouldn't be here now. I wouldn't be an affiliate streamer right now.
I want to go in with.
A lot quieter. This is my old style.
Parker's just been the MVP. I'm gonna stick with him for now.
You can probably barely hear it.
I won't give Watt his chance to shine quite yet.
I won't give Watt his chance to shine.
Okay, dude.
That's so good. I was just getting used to streaming again, and I was coming up with all these puns that whole episode, and it was just kind of like a good moment. What else do we have here? There's so many interesting discussions here that almost deserve, right? Like, I could literally make a whole series out of this, like a just chatting, laid back. And the point is, you're not really talking about even the videos themselves. You're just talking about random stuff, but that the video makes you think of. I wouldn't treat it like I can, you know, I don't know. Let me actually look up something. What determines whether you can react to a video? Like, how do people know even to do this? See, a lot of the big streamers just do it with no regard. How do you know what videos you can react to? Best way to find videos to react to for commentary channels. Don't have a commentary channel. Maybe don't have a commentary channel if you can't find anything to react to. What a dickish response. YouTubers who specialize in reaction videos use this to fulfill our fantasy of showing a video to a friend, or yeah, like living vicariously. Like, you want to see what their first reaction to something is because you can never relive it again. Are reaction videos considered fair use? I find it weird, a bit hypocritical that anyone who relies on another franchise for material would be copyright takedown happy. Whether a video is fair use determines detail characteristics. Or there should be like some 30-second rule. Like, you can just, you know, you can watch a certain amount of stuff. Like these short clips, I'm sure you wouldn't get in trouble for, but I still won't do it. And I also do it more so out of principle. Like, I don't like the idea of doing this sort of content. So, of course, I'm doing it mockingly and ironically. Meanwhile, 2 years later, and we'll be doing this fucking nonstop because of how I feel about chess. I'm going to play chess ironically. This one's good. I guess I could just show briefly what they are. I did make this list. So I'll keep it low. Like, you know, we play some of these songs even during chess, so there's no problem with them. So my favorite song from the first game. Okay, the GBA version is the credits, but actually, you know, the credits themes in the first game are amazing. They're like, there's one for Rise from the Ashes, and there's one from Turnabout Goodbyes, and they're both incredible. This is, of course, the Objection theme, but those ones were close second. Justice for All was kind of a tough one. It's the Scars reminiscence after Eeny Meeny and the fire and everything. I guess it won't be really that loud, but that one's really good. Obviously, we all know the Objection theme. Trials and Tribulations. This was kind of a surprise one. Like, you wouldn't think an investigation would be that good of a theme, but it's so badass. Very, very good one. This one is Cornered. This was also a tough one. I love that one that's like the investigation middle stage here too. And even the solitary confinement for Kristoff is quite good. This is an easy one, obviously, and part 2 is even easier. Everybody knows my 2 favorite songs from like the whole series are probably this one, Presto, and the cross-examination from Spirit of Justice is so good. Flying Coldly is pretty good. What else do we have here? Presto is amazing. And of course, Edgeworth gets spoiled by having 3 cross-examination themes rather than Phoenix only having 2. Athena Sykes coming in, not a character I like very much, but clearly her theme is fucking incredible. Look at the spacing on that font, dude. Professional. You've obviously heard these if you've watched me play chess, because I've listened to them a lot over time. This one is fucking badass, too. So yeah, those are my favorite songs from the series that I play actually quite a bit, obviously. I haven't beaten the great Ace Attorney, but I guess we'll save that. What else do we have here? Again, I'm only reacting to stuff that I either personally made, like Tyrone thing, or I guess myself. This is such a weird thing to do, but... Oh yeah, let's look at that. Okay, I don't want to spend all night here, but let's actually look, because there's not going to be that many things.
Today I'm talking about the issue.
Yeah, I'm just too quiet here, I guess. I can't even...
Which isn't much of one at all.
Like, let's just sum up the discussion. Like, you shouldn't remove dislikes, because if you remove dislikes, then... if you remove dislikes, you should remove likes, and they both don't matter. But if they do matter, then show them both, right? It's a false duality issue. You're showing one but not the other, so there's no way to defend that. Like, oh, it might hurt somebody's feelings. But you have to take the good with the bad. Like, first of all, it's just a virtual dislike on a video sharing platform. You don't have to make videos, you don't have to share them. Even this argument of, like, dislike bombing is so dumb because it's like, you know, why would they dislike bomb it? Maybe because they don't like it, but... XQC and React Meta are objectively and legally wrong. I might have been sort of putting this on and doing it as a joke, but...
Today I'm talking about why XQC and the React Meta in general on Twitch is wrong.
Oh yeah, because he's like watching MasterChef or something, like you should ask permission, and it's just kind of stupid, not based in meritocracy. There's some sort of fallacy like, oh, well, he streams 12 hours a day, so he's justified in doing that, but even then, it's like... You know, you don't have to stream 12 hours a day then. Like, that's an entitlement issue. Like, stream as much as you want, make as much money as you want, but don't, this is kind of funny. It's like Michael Jordan was picked 3 in the draft originally, and then he's picked 3 in a fantasy draft here, and then he's picked 3 again in another fantasy draft later. That actually should have more views. That's a great observation. Like, you know, originally, how could he possibly be picked 3rd? Sam Bowie and Hakeem. No, nobody minds Hakeem number 1, but everybody minds Chuck picks like Allen Iverson or somebody, and then they pick somebody else. So how does he end up 3rd 3 times in a row? This is, I forget. Oh, like when he remembers what Phoenix did to encourage him. This is something that I obviously made fun of myself. Pulling a Tessio, just like the guy trying to cheat in the toilet. This is me. Very long ass video. I can't even believe this. Wannabe Jedi Padawan, obviously Rey. Why are all the heroes Latino? Yeah, like they find some bullshit way to defend it. Like, what if it's just people not liking it? Are they not allowed to dislike it? Dislike bombing, more like disliking, period. Like, so it's not possible for a large number of people to dislike something. Otherwise, you have to call it bombing. This is pretty cool. This is at least a short one. I should put maybe the subtitles because you can't really hear what I'm saying, probably. The treetop fruit concept is you come upon a tree, or an animal comes upon a tree, it doesn't really matter, and they see the one at the top and they want to get that one. They perceive it as tasting the best. And once they get it, they might psychologically, as a placebo effect, believe it tastes better, even if it's exactly the same as the rest of them. So it's the achievement of getting up there that made it better. The same thing can be said about a lot of things in life. It's not the outcome, it's the experience, it's the achievement of getting there. So in a certain sense, it does taste better because psychologically you're associating it with that level of achievement of climbing the tree. And of course, that's just an analogy. It could be anything. But if you work harder for something, yeah, that's pretty good. That I've made that joke about stuff in games as far as skins. Like, the legend card back might, you might like it even though you know it looks like shit in Hearthstone, just because you're like, oh well, haha, it took me so long to get it or whatever, right? So if it's really rare, like a mount in WoW, something is super rare, so even if it's not good, you still like it because you know what it took to get it. So it feels like a badge of honor and showing off to other people your level of accomplishment. This is pretty funny. You should be able to do like a 3-second thing like that. This is a classic clip. You have to look at that. I don't know what this is, but that is me. Those who stand for nothing are offended by everything. That's the line that I used a little bit. How false duality. See, we used to do content together, but then he got too lazy to actually do it. We did that Psychology of Twitch series, which I got actually in a little bit of trouble for doing because I would push certain limits and whatever. But it was, again, I didn't do anything wrong. It's just people are sensitive clowns. But this is a pretty good discussion. Maybe I'll look at a little bit of that. Or yeah, let's look at this one. Daryl Brooks' trial in 3 seconds. Look at what this opens up for me. This would be my just chatting category. But I would run out of stuff, or you know what I could do? I could skim through my videos and talk about random subjects that I mention in them and go into long form about it. It's just to show, like, this is what just chatting streaming is. This is what React content is. It's like there's nothing to it. You're just talking about random shit. But yet people still like that somehow. Can we get a couple more in, dude? Oh, fuck. It's creating errors. It was just working, man. I just use that one to find his channel every time. Okay, so about let's see. I just want to see some of the rest of mine, although a lot of them start to appear now. We can save that for episode 2 of this series. I'm going to end up doing this longer than whatever. This is a classic clip.
I'm not stupid.
Well, I disagree with that, sir.
Dude, the subtitles in case you can't hear it.
Well, I disagree with that, sir.
And that's actually a real clip of what he says. It's just like, or what they say, but she's talking about something else. Like what he said.
Everyone, this is your
What
daily
he
dose
said.
of internet.
Wait.
This is probably a barber's biggest fear. If they use a razor for too long, the vibrations can cause their fingers to lose blood flow. If this is not quickly taken care of, they could lose their fingers.
Okay, maybe that's meant to be. That's not what I was trying to click on. It clicked it by mistake. Play single player at least once is an achievement here. So that's at least a cool. No, you know what? I want to do that one though. I want to do the whatever. Or nah, forget it. But yeah, see, that's a fun format I could do in like short little bursts. The thing is, I'd have to figure out like what are things that I could really use or look at, because it's not even that I'm reacting directly to them. It's again, I'll go on sort of a tangent or use it as a stream of consciousness. There's all sort of awesome potential you can do with it. So this just at least introduces it as a possibility. I don't know why I suddenly thought of that. Just because that game made me think of Gary's mod, the Unturned, because you have to download the maps. Gary's mod Cinema is a classic though. See you tomorrow.